All right, what is up, YouTube fam? I know I haven't been doing these often, but I've really got a good one for you guys today. I want to be talking about confidence and creating your reality. Okay, so how do these two things come together? Well, I want to preface it with a little bit of my story if you're not already familiar, because here I am standing in front of you as a confidence coach. If you don't know me, by the way, my name is Ben Clark. I'm a confidence coach. I help people that struggle with confidence and authentic expression really step into that and start to live life with confidence and get the results that come with having that confidence. But see, I was not always like this. Just 3-4 years ago, I was a socially anxious college kid that struggled to express myself authentically, that froze up in a variety of situations very often. Face would turn red, get that like sweaty, shaky, heart droppy feeling that a lot of you probably know what I'm talking about if you clicked on this video. And I struggled so much with just wanting to be confident in my life. And after years of struggling with this and trying to figure out like how can I just become confident and be like all those people that I see as confident, right? I realized that it was all in my head. I realized that in my mind, through the power of my mind, I have the ability to create the reality that I desire. I have the ability to get the results that I want in my life. I have the ability to feel confident like I desire to feel confident in my life. I have the ability to express myself authentically. I have the ability to stand in front of you and teach you something and share this authentically to a camera and post it online without worrying about what other people think about me. I can go up and I can speak to people without all of this worry about what they're going to think about me. Right? I realized that that was all in my mind. That if I started working on my mind, then I would actually be able to start creating my reality. That's what I want to talk to you about today, okay? There's a lot that goes into really developing this confidence that's already within you, and that is a process that I go on with my one-on-one clients. It's a process I talk about a lot in all of my videos over on Instagram, and I'm sure that I'll be talking about it a lot here on YouTube. But there's also this underlying piece to starting to shift the way that you see yourself and you interact with the world that is really a fundamental piece of awakening this confidence that's within you and starting to shift it and move it and get it flowing in your life, but then also being able to unblock it and expand. Okay, so if you're not familiar, those are really all the 3 steps you need. You need to awaken the confidence that's already within you because again, this confidence that you desire and dream of and long for is already in you right now. I'll ask you, are you confident that you're not confident? Are you confident that you want to be confident? Confidence is a quality that you possess. You answered yes to both of those. If you clicked on this video, I'm more than willing to bet that you answered yes to both of those. And that shows you that confidence is this quality that's already within you. We just have to really wake it up and start shaking it up and get it flowing within you. And then we have to start unblocking it because there's going to be a lot of shit that comes up, traumas, limiting beliefs, energy vampires, fear, guilt, shame, all these things that I'll talk about in future videos. So we need to start unblocking that. And then we can really expand your identity and expand your life as you're embracing this confidence and embodying that. Because when you show up in the world with confidence, when you show up in the world as your authentic self, you become magnetic to deeper relationships, to better opportunities, to better outcomes, all of these really beautiful things in life because you are simply emanating the authentic expression of energy that's within you and you're showing up as you. Just you, without all this fear and this limited thinking and the negative what ifs and what are they going to think about me and am I going to get rejected and this needy energy of, oh, I need this person to like me or I need that girl to validate me or whatever. Like when you let go of all of that and you just show up as you for you, that's the energy that people love to be around and life loves to be around. And so you're going to get more and more greater things. So what I want to do in this video is I want to give you a really solid foundation for starting to wake up this internal knowing that not only can you create the reality that you desire, but also that you have confidence within you. It's just being clouded by a bunch of shit that's keeping it asleep. So what you have to first understand, we're going to start down here, okay, is that there's a cycle that's creating your reality right now, even as you're watching. The way that you are experiencing this video is going to depend on your belief system. Okay, that's what the B stands for, your belief system. There's a lot of people that are watching this video, but you're all having a little bit of a different experience, right? It's the same video. It's not like some of you are watching a different video. You're all watching the same video. You're experiencing it in different ways. Why? Because of your mindset, right? Because of your belief systems and your perspectives about how you see yourself, how you see the world, how you're visualizing me, right? What you judge about in yourself that may be projected onto me or the video or all of these things. So much is happening within your belief system. But what's happening even deeper is because of your beliefs, you're starting to experience thoughts. And what happens when we start to experience these thoughts is our brain, this is all happening within our brain, right? Our brain then integrates these thoughts with a feeling, okay? So then it starts to make this integration and then it associates it with some type of action. So from this feeling that came from this thought, that came from this belief about ourselves or the world or whatever, we're going to then take an action. Whatever that feeling is, it drives an action. Maybe it's saying something. Maybe it's actually doing something physically. Maybe it's planning for something. Maybe it's actually the action itself is shutting up and quieting down and closing off. Maybe that action is like a lot of us that have experienced what anxious feelings and thoughts feel like. Maybe that action is actually us closing off and starting to feel sweaty and starting to shift into the sympathetic fight or flight nervous system, which is going to shut us down and really get us into the space where we're frozen like a deer in headlights. We don't even know what to say and we're afraid to speak up. And it's almost as like in our heads, we're just blank, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys know that feeling. I certainly do from past experiences. But what happens is based on that action, we're going to get a different result. Right? That action creates a result. We've got this external world that's in front of us, but we're always interacting with it, whether it's through the action of saying something, of doing something, of feeling something, right? I mean, like something can happen in front of us. Say we're in the car and we're driving to work and we're stuck in traffic. Maybe an action is for us to get really frustrated and all worked up and get super negative and let that ruin our day. Right? Or maybe an action because of what we believe about the situation, it creates this thought and this feeling, and maybe our action is actually to really calm down and turn on our favorite podcast or favorite album or whatever and just relax and calm into that. And then throughout our day, we carry that momentum because of that action. Now our whole reality of the day is actually experienced differently because of the belief systems that we had about that the traffic, right? We could sit there and we could sit in traffic and say, oh man, the world's out to get me. I'm going to be late. My boss is going to get mad. I hate sitting in this. This is a waste of time. That guy in front of me is moving so slow. Why you keep hitting his brakes? Like all of these beliefs that the world is out to get you, right? That something bad is going to happen if you're late. Like all of these beliefs create a lot of those thoughts, those loops, which are going to start working up these feelings, which are going to work up the actions, which create your results. But what the key is, right, if it's our beliefs that are driving all of this, then we need to figure out how we can start focusing on our beliefs. So, I mean, one thing we can do is we can start getting clear on what our beliefs are. Like, what do I believe about myself? Do I believe that I'm not athletic or do I believe I am athletic? Do I think I'm good looking or not good looking? Do I think that I'm good at math or not good at math? Do I think that I have what it takes to really be successful in life and start my own business? Or do I not, right? Am I a procrastinator or am I not? Am I an anxious person or am I not, right? But depending on what these beliefs are, it's going to impact the reality, as I've been saying. So when we can start taking inventory and doing some sort of self-reflection on like, okay, what do I believe about myself? What do I believe about the world? Right? Do I believe that we live in a world that's out to get me? Do I believe that we live in a corrupt world? Do I believe that I have control over my reality, right? Get clear on what are these beliefs, because then we can start to figure out what beliefs are not serving the results and what beliefs are serving the results. okay? Because this is so important. We have to start actually taking action to shift our beliefs. Otherwise, we're going to remain stagnant in the beliefs that we have, and the beliefs that we have are creating the reality that we have right now. So if you don't like the reality you have, if you don't feel confident in yourself, if you don't love yourself, if you're not getting the outcomes and the results that you want to, and having the deep relationships and feeling authentic, well, there's something going on in here. So we need to dive deep in those things, right? That's one of the really great parts about what I do with my one-on-one clients is I can really start to dive deep with them and start sharing different perspectives on what their belief systems are and how they're operating in the world. And that's just a big part of what we can dive into, which is why my clients are going to get such good results, because we're shifting their belief systems in a way that aligns with the results that they want. And we'll get to that in a second. But what we have to understand is if the beliefs are that important, we want to figure out, okay, well, what's like the underlying thing that will help me shift those beliefs? Because I could sit and I could write them all down and start reframing them, right? But like what I could really start doing is shifting this I right here. Now, what does this I stand for? This I is identity. What we see ourselves, or who we see ourselves, and what we believe about ourselves is really all stemming from our identity. Our identity is really like our sense of self. It's like this image that we've created of who we believe that we are and the roles that we play and the labels that we have, right? So whatever we identify as, whoever we see ourselves as in the world is going to create a bunch of belief systems that emanate from this identity, right? So if I identify, if I see myself as a weak person that's not smart and doesn't have what it takes to be successful and super shy and anxious and all these things, well, guess what? All of your beliefs are going to stem from all of those roles that you are playing. You're playing the role of an anxious person. You're playing the role of a not smart person. You're playing the role of a weak person. You're playing the role of a procrastinator, right? And so it's like, okay, if I identify as a procrastinator, if I identify as an anxious person, well, that anxious person is going to have certain beliefs about themselves in the world, which are going to play out in thoughts, feelings, actions, and results. So we want to stop with all of those labels that are not serving us. We need to break down the identity that we're seeing ourselves as now and shift our identity in the version of ourselves that's getting the results that we desire. Okay, so how do we do this? The first step is going to be looking and creating the results that you desire. What is the vision that you have in your life? What do you want? Like, if there are no limitations, if there's no societal pressure or your parents' pressure or friends' pressure or employee or teacher pressure, like any of this pressure or even financial pressure, what would you do? What kind of life do you want to live? Right? Do you want a lot of money? Do you not want a lot of money? Do you want a fulfilling career? Do you not? Do you want a family? Do you not? Do you want where do you want to live, right? What kind of house do you want to have? What kind of hobbies do you want to have? What kind of car do you want to drive? What kind of music do you want to listen to? Like, whatever it is, you just create the life that you want, right? Because once you do that, then we actually start to have something to work with to start developing the identity that lives the life that you desire. Okay? And then what we can also do is tap into our sense of purpose, right? When I am working with people, a lot of times what I use is this tool called Ikea. It's a Japanese word for the reason for being, right? It's your purpose. It's your reason for being. And what you do in order to figure out what your purpose might be, and I just really talk about this as like tuning into your purpose. Right? Like purpose is not some necessarily like defined thing that it's always this way. Your purpose is going to evolve throughout your life as you shift in your identity, as you gain new skills, as you gain new things that you're really good at, as the world starts shifting and all of this. But we want to just start tuning into like this sense of what is my purpose, because so many people struggle with this. So what I would encourage you to do, I'm sure I'll talk about this in future videos. So definitely subscribe and so that you can follow along and get that stuff. And just to pause too, guys, if you guys are enjoying this, hit that like so that I know that you guys are enjoying this, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions or what your belief systems are, or what you think that you're looking at yourself in terms of identity or roles that you're playing. I want to engage with you guys and see if I can help you out in any way. But as I was saying, what we need to start doing is tapping into this sense of purpose, and we're using the Ikigai tool. So the Ikigai tool pretty much splits up your purpose into like 4 different components that you're then going to mesh together and find the interaction between all of these. So one is, what do you love? Hey, what do you love to do? That's very, very important because our purpose is not going to be in line with something that we hate doing, right? So what do you love to do? What are you good at, right? What skills do you have? Like, what are you actually just good at doing? What can you get paid for, right? Because at the end of the day, money does make the world go around in a lot of ways. Like, we need money to be able to make an impact, to get things, to have housing, like all of that stuff, right? So what can you get paid for? But then also, what does the world need, right? How can we serve the world? What right now, when you look at the scope of the world, what does it need? What is missing? What could people use? Right? And so then what you do is you get clear on those four things and you start to find the intersection between all of those things. And that's something that I work on with people that I'm working more intimately with. But I'll make future videos on it as well. So once we start tapping into our purpose, and we're creating a vision for our lives, and we figure out actually what we want to be doing and living like, then we just have to get clear on the version of ourselves that's living that life. Right? There's a version of you now that's living the life that you're living now. Like, who's the version of you that lives that life? How do you show up every day? What are the relationships you have, right? And so here are some questions that you can think about in terms of this. You can do this as an audit for yourself now. Like, what are these things now in your life that are giving you the results that you have? And what are the answers to all of these things in the version of yourself that's living the life that you dream of, right? So what do you value, right? Like, what's important to you? What are the kind of codes of conduct that you live by, right? What is like your sense of your creed that you live by, right? What are those values that are very important to you? Are you curious? Do you value compassion? Do you value acceptance? Do you value action? Do you value validation over from others versus yourself? Like, figure out clearly who that version of you is. What do you like, right? What is this version of you? What do you like? What do you enjoy in life? What do you like to do? Whatever. What do you dislike, right? What do you not really enjoy? What do you try to avoid? What do you stay away from? What are your habits, right? How do you show up every day? What's your morning routine like? What do you do during work? What do you do throughout the day, right? What's your evening routine like? What kind of habit do you have do you plan the next day or do you not? Do you have an evening routine that's like a bunch of little habits that help you get to bed and get good sleep? All these things, right? What do your financial situation look like, right? How much money are you making? How are you making that money? How much money are you giving away, right? What are you spending money on? Your career. What does your career look like? Do you run your own business? Do you work for someone else? Are you working up the ladder? Are you an executive? What are you doing, right? Are you doing something that's creative? Do you work in a 9 to 5 and you got a side hustle? It's like, what is it that you're doing? Okay. And then fun, right? What do you do for fun? What do you like to go do? Do you like to go outside? Do you like to play video games? You like to play guitar, right? What are your hobbies? And so now you can start getting clear on the identity of the version of yourself that has this. And when you start stepping into that and you start reminding yourself, this is who I am, this is how I show up, and you start actually taking action. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, you could listen to this video, you could look at all this stuff, you could write all this stuff down, but if you don't start taking action and actually stepping into that version, well, then nothing's actually going to change, right? Action. Okay. And what you have to realize is that if you don't actually start the process also of writing this down, then we're never going to truly shift our beliefs, because one of our beliefs is going to be that I am not the person that actually takes action and does that. Because you're looking at this, but then you don't actually do anything. So that's a belief about yourself. That's part of your identity. You're going to have thoughts, feelings, and actions that align with that, right? Likely, that's going to be like procrastination, self-sabotage, not showing up for yourself, all of that, which is going to give you those results, and you're going to continue to feel unconfident in yourself. So all of this to be said, you can create your reality. It really starts with having a vision for your life and starting to get clear on and step into the version of yourself that lives that life. Okay, and as you start to do this, you're going to start naturally becoming more confident in yourself if you're doing this right and you're actually aligning things with perspectives, with beliefs, with values, with all these things that are going to serve you towards your confidence, which is what I talk about over my Instagram channel. That's what I'm going to continue to talk about here on my YouTube, guys. And I also can help you. If you are struggling with these things, I do have a one-on-one coaching program that I walk people through. Not only this, right? This is just like the tip of the iceberg for really stepping into your true confidence and really making profound changes in your life. And that's what I'm really good at doing, okay? So I do offer a one-on-one program for that. So if that's something that you're interested in, I invite you to check out the bio of this video. There will be a link for you to learn more about that program. But otherwise, guys, if you enjoy this content and you want to see more of this kind of stuff, like this video, comment, and let me know so that I know this is bringing you value, so I know that you want to keep seeing these things, and let me know what kind of videos you want to keep seeing, and also subscribe so that you don't miss those videos. Much love to you all. I'm so excited to be really starting to hammer down this YouTube journey, and you guys get to come along for the ride with me. So thank you very much. Much love to you. You are welcome.